Hello, welcome
Hello.
to Cinemadness podcast movie review time. February 1st, so it's a new movie on HBO Max that should have come to the theaters, which I think is in the theaters, but most people are going to watch it from home. It replaced Wonder Woman 84. So we all watched The Little Things. Adam, tell us about the movie.
You know, when you say The Little Things, it sounds like such a charming movie.
It does.
It's not a charming movie.
I know.
It's a movie that it's a cop movie. It's a murder mystery movie. Murder mystery movie. That's fun to say. It's directed by John Lee Hancock, who did The Blind Side and Saving Mr. Banks. And it doesn't show because this is nothing like those movies. It stars Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto, and it's a. I know, Denzel, man, he's got that Cosby look going now.
No,
it's pudding time. Yeah, it's a very dark movie. It's a dark take on basically every cop procedural movie, TV show you've ever seen. If you've seen one of those, you've seen The Little Things, except it's well acted, well directed. And I'm giving my review before I even finish talking about it.
Just keep on going.
Denzel is he's an old cop. He knows all the tricks. He knows all the little things to do. And he's basically unintentionally mentoring this new hotshot detective that's on everybody's love list, played by Rami Malek.
Yeah,
and they're going after a guy who's been kidnapping and killing people in strange night stalkery ways. Throw back to that show that's on Netflix right now. Because it was written in 1993, so it was very very close to that, and it was also in LA, so it all makes sense. I really enjoyed The Little Things for what it was. I didn't like how the story progressed, and then it just kind of stopped, and then you had to figure it out not figure it out for yourself, but you have to determine what happens at the end. You have character endings, but you don't have a story ending. And sometimes that's good, and sometimes I don't know about that. But the more I think about it, the more I'd like to have a more cohesive story. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go next. In terms of Little Things, it was a psychological thriller. I put down in my notes, it's like The Cell, but without the trip. And
it's Silence of the Lambs.
I don't think so, and we can probably talk more in later dates. I thought it was very akin to Insomnia with Al Pacino and Robin Williams, in terms of the mood, in terms of the pacing, in terms of the character arcs that were shown. Also, I have, in terms of my notes, I also slightly a nod to Seven. I had a Seven vibe as well, but without as much action, if you will. And it had the pacing similar to Chinatown. It was very noir type film, modern noir, I felt, my transition. In terms of the film itself, I joked with my wife when we sat down and watched it, because I've been wanting to do another list of great acting achievements like we did with Bill Murray on Cinemadness.com, and I was going to choose Denzel Washington, but he's so almost one-dimensional. Either he's playing the bad guy and going extreme, or he's playing the good guy and he's the same way. And in this film, he pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, he's Denzel.
Copy and paste him from every single role you've seen him, and you've seen him in this film. Very little. He had some slight depth. There was scenes with Rami Malek that I felt were forced. Their relationship, I felt, was kind of awkward at times. They forced so much into a small space to really bridge that gap and bridge that trust. In the film, he basically shakes Robbie Malek's hand, and they kind of exchange words in awkward tension. And then before you know it, Robbie Malek brings him on in this murder case. Boom. Okay, great. That's awesome. Yeah, you've been away from the force for X amount of years, and then suddenly I'm going to bring you in on a big profile case. Sure. Why not?
I took that as a selfish reason. I feel that he knew there was so much pressure on him because all these victims kept coming up and they didn't have a suspect. I think he was trying to take advantage of Denzel because that was his old
stomping ground
precinct.
Yeah, his old precinct. So I think it was like, maybe he'll help me a little bit. So I think that was a little selfish reasons.
Plus he had like the attention of everybody on him. He's like the celebrity detective, and when he doesn't look good, it's not going to look good for the precinct. So he'd take any chance he can. Also, Roman, I did notice I thought the same thing about the similarities between that and Seven, more of a slower paced Seven, but also the score was very David Fincher-esque. It almost sounded like a Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross score.
I agree. The payoff, I have to agree with Adam real quick, and then I'll bounce it back to Alison. But the payoff I felt was a little bit, I felt like the film was teasing us all night and making us think that, oh man, this is going to be really awesome. And then at the end of the night, it was just like, I got a headache. Do you mind making this quick? Yeah. And that's kind of how I felt the film was. But it may have been better served as a miniseries where you could explore a little bit more, like have some sort of FX film.
A new season of True Detective.
Yeah. I definitely feel that would have been a little bit more appropriate. It's just so many good things, good acting, good directing, even good story to a degree. It's just, it was shoved in so much, it was almost too rich.
So the last time I went to the movies, they showed this preview and I was like, oh, look, Denzel doing another like Kiss the Girls and Bone Collector type movie. And then Jared Leto popped up and I'm like, okay, I'm interested now. So I actually rewatched this movie last night. So I've watched it twice now because I felt like I didn't feel like I missed things, but I felt like I could get more out of it. I agree with both of you guys. I feel that it was very slow. It was very noir. I felt that it was going to lead up to something like a Seven. Everybody knows the ending of Seven was just, it blew you away.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for that. This is a typical serial killer movie. We got our suspect. We're going to get him. We're going to get an ending. We're going to, save the day. And that's not what you get. And we're not spoiling anything, but this movie kind of turns those typical cop serial killer thrillers on its side. And it kind of leaves it up for your interpretation onto what ended, like how it ended with these characters. And I really enjoyed that. I didn't need the ending that I'm used to because I could have thought that the movie ended one way and you guys could have thought that it ended a different way based on each character. So I was happy with that. I agree that Denzel was fine. Denzel's good in pretty much everything he does, but he's Denzel. Rami Malek, he's a good actor, but again, he's kind of one-dimensional still. He has that same look on his face. And it was funny, right after this, I turned on regular TV and Bohemian Rhapsody was on.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen that movie since we saw it in the theaters. And I was like, okay, let me start watching this. And he has that same look of his mouth, like this thing that he does with his mouth and his eyes. Like the man needs those things under his eyes to help his bags. He just always looks so stressed, but he played the character well. I grew to feel empathy for that character towards the end. His job in this case destroyed him. You could see that at the end, and so I felt that, and I thought that was really good. Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
Jared Leto, I cannot say enough about him, not just because I'm infatuated with him, but because he is hands down one of the greatest actors of our time.
How's the trunk space?
I don't care if you give him something to put a bag over his head and he has to act, he will outshine everybody in that movie. And he did that again. But his character was so creepy, but likable at the same time and funny that we needed more of him. I wanted a backstory on him. I wanted to know why he never changed his clothes. And even when he wasn't working, he kept on his work outfit. Why did he go to the strip club so many times? What was he doing? So yes, I would love to have a miniseries. I think I'd never even thought about that until you brought that up. But having that movie made into a miniseries, I think that would have been really good. Like a short miniseries, like 6 episodes, to kind of give us a more of a backstory on everybody, maybe. So, but I enjoyed it. What?
So Alison, do you want to know specifically what he was doing in the strip club?
I do.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to get some ones, and we'll talk more about it. We'll have an evening, and we'll talk more about it. But I think that's for the most part all we got.
And we can't really go into the movie without spoiling it. I think everybody should take away something different from this movie. But it's definitely a movie that makes you think, and I like movies like that. I like when you turn off the movie, you're like, huh. And then you start to like kind of analyze more. So I enjoyed the movie. It was the little things.
Denzel's character reminded me a lot of Tommy Lee Jones in No Country for Old Men. Okay, good silence.
Is that the Milkshake movie that I still haven't seen?
That's There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
No Country for Old Men is the Coen Brothers movie. It's freaking fantastic.
I still haven't seen it, so I don't know. Sorry.
It's the one that when we're taping every so often, Adam and I will like talk about flipping a coin.
Yeah, it's Javier Bardem's like swan song of a movie.
Yeah, and every time you talk about it, I just hit this look on my face, and then I ask, "Is that the Milkshake movie?"
All right. Why don't we go? Let's see. I'll go first, second, and ladies, which are normally first, will go last. How about that?
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. For this, I hate to do it because I know it was everything that I wanted in the film. I would love to give it an A, but I can't. I gotta give it a solid C+. Jared Leto, the acting is just, the storyline left so much. It was probably not the proper outline for it. Probably not the proper venue for that story. Adam.
Yeah, I'll give it just a C. Same reason. The screenplay was written in 1993, and I don't think it was updated since then. So it needed some polish. So a solid C. Alison?
I give it a B, strictly on Leto's performance.
Well, if I'd give it an A for Leto, but
no, it's not his best performance. There wasn't enough of him.
Okay, so
and he had that like greasy look on his hair.
He was mechanic Jesus.
He wasn't a mechanic. He was.
I mean, he wore the suit for being an appliance guy.
He wasn't a mechanic. The movie is like getting bad reviews, and that makes me sad because I think that people are just seeing it for what it is. Like, oh, I needed an ending, and I wish they would just kind of take a step back and realize that not all movies have to give you an ending. I know you guys probably disagree with me because that's why you didn't like it, but I don't know.
I didn't say I didn't like it. No, what I'm seeing are people are comparing it to every single cop story they've ever seen. There's nothing original. Do that. But again, it was written in 1993. I mean, it was written before NCIS and all that crap.
That's weird. I wonder why it took so long to get made. It wasn't based on a book. It wasn't, that's weird to me.
It's just I guess it was just a passion project or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they kept on going, hey, Denzel, you want to do it? No. Denzel, you want to do it? No.
It all hinged on Denzel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hancock saw Philadelphia and he's like, I need that guy.
Yeah. A 7-year-old Jared Leto. Hey, in 30 years, you're our guy.
And Rami Malek just being born.
Can we talk about how Denzel, like how he looks old now and how he like gained weight and like looks like your grandpa?
He already mentioned
No, he said he looked like Bill Cosby.
He does.
having the pudding pops. I got that.
You got that.
That's the first. Okay.
It's taken us 3 years, but we're finally getting each other's jokes.
Has it been 3? No, it hasn't.
2-ish.
Yeah,
It feels like 20. I assure you.
I mean, last summer was like 10 years. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. Not with you, Alison. Alison, it just feels like it started.
Okay, for more reviews, you guys can check out our website at cinemadnesspodcast.com. We also have a YouTube channel, Cinemadness Podcast, which has all of our reviews, all of our past Zoom episodes, and all of Adam's retro re-watches.
that's hard to say.
It is hard to say. Retro rewatch.
Rewatch.
And there was a new one that came out today, so go watch it, give them feedback, give us feedback, get on it.
Get down on it.
And right now we have, I don't know when people will be watching this, but if it's in the month of February, you can join our Facebook page and you can comment every day on our February movie calendar. Today was pick a movie from your favorite actor or actress. And we got a lot of people already. So
it's great seeing you guys.
Go watch The Little Things.
Yes, and let us know. Let us know in the comments what you think of The Little Things.
Yep.
Yeah. Are we being too hard? Are we belittling it?
Ooh.
Yeah. Or should we just take all the information, just put it into a big trash can and light it on fire?
Yeah.
All right. Now we can go watch or go listen to All the Small Things by Blink-182.
And The Little Things by Bush.
I was thinking Fleetwood Mac's Little Lies.
I like all of those.
All right.
Good idea.
Well,
all right.
That's us in a nutshell, guys.
Yep.
Anyways.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.